Hey guys, I'm Matt Skollar. I'm the single chef. Welcome. And now, a little background about me. I'm just your classic single guy with the single guy fridge, single guy ingredients. But the thing is, I'm going to show you how to take this stuff right here and make something that tastes great. And I'm going to keep it really simple for you guys. But don't take my word for it. I've got my good friend over here, Lily, who's our taste tester. Hey Lily, how you doing?
Hey Matt, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, glad to have you. So today, we're going to be making chicken parm heroes.
Great.
What do you think about that?
You know, I've never actually had chicken parm before, so this is
Really?
a totally new experience for me.
This is awesome. Okay.
But I love sandwiches, and I'm game for anything.
Love the attitude. Guys, let's begin. But first, again, we're going to be cooking with our 10 basic ingredients. This is what every single guy has in their pantry, and that is Worcestershire sauce, soy sauce, ketchup. Everyone's got some hot sauce, mustard, cooking oil, you need that. My trusty 1,000 gallon dressing. I've got some garlic powder and some salt and pepper. Can't go wrong. So, I hear that our oven's ready. We're going to be using that in just a minute. The first thing we're going to do, guys, is just going to open our, and what I've got here is what I had to go, and every show, guys, I'm going to show you, besides our ingredients here, we've got our ingredients that we go shop for, and we keep it real simple. We have some chicken breast. I've got a couple of rolls. I've got some mozzarella cheese. I got some eggs, marinara sauce, and some breadcrumbs, okay? So real simple stuff, costs you like 10 bucks to go get. First thing you want to do, you just want to wash off your chicken breast. If you're ever cooking chicken, Lily, at home, just make sure you give it a little rinse. I'm going to do this real quick, just to get any schmutz, as we say off there.
Schmutz.
I'm from New York. We use schmutz. All right, so what we do is I just wash that. I'm going to put it on our cutting board. And I'm going to cut these breasts, because these are pretty thick breasts, as we can see here. Here we go. And I'm just going to cut them in half. This way, the cooking time is quicker, because we're quick here on Single Chef. That's the idea. And just cut that bad boy right there. And it's also, you know, we're not stuffing that sandwich too big. Okay, so we've got those cut. Now, I'm just going to take a little bit of salt, and I'm just going to dab that with salt. Again, I do this to how I feel. You can do it differently. If you want to put more, put more. Put less, put less. Throw a little pepper on there. These things don't really work so well, so I'm going to open them up and just shake some pepper over there. Beautiful. Now, let me just wash my hands real quick because I'm handling chicken. Just give it a little rinse. So the next step is, and this is what I've learned over the years, and it's not that big a trick, but we're going to do some eggs and some breadcrumbs, and that's how we're going to bread our chicken today, and that's going to make it really crispy and really delicious. So I'm just going to crack an egg in this bowl and grab a spoon over here, and we're just going to whisk that egg up a little bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to crack 2 eggs because 1 egg is not enough. Better have more than less. So we'll crack 2 eggs. Boom. Again, we're just going to whisk that up.
You're really good at cracking eggs.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I've been practicing for a while.
Looks
I'm glad you
way.
noticed that.
Yeah. Takes me like 5 tries.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, the thing is, you want a hard edge. So if you don't have like a really like thin edge, then your egg's going to you're going to put a lot of shells in there, which you don't want to do. Okay, so then we're just going to take our breadcrumbs and we're just going to put it in another bowl. And let me just open those up. And these are just Italian breadcrumbs, real simple, but they give it a lot of nice flavor. So we're just going to pour that in there generously. Okay. And we're just going to take our chicken, and we're just going to roll it around in the egg wash. In case you can't see, I'm just going to show you what we're doing here. Okay, and then just let the excess, you know what I mean, excess egg roll off there, and then we're just going to throw it in the breadcrumbs. And it's good to have a big bowl like this, guys, because you can make a mess without getting it all over the place. You just want to roll it around real nicely. Okay, that's one. Now, one thing I forgot is I want to take my oil and just coat the pan with a nice amount of oil. You want to put like, maybe half an inch in there. This is going to make the chicken really nice and brown. Let that warm up for a minute. So I'm just going to put my breaded chicken patties here, and we're going to make 2 sandwiches today, but they're going to be really nice and thick, big sandwiches.
Good.
So Lily,
Yeah.
this is your first chicken parm sandwich?
Yeah.
I'm kind of up to the test now. I mean, this is like
You're going to set the bar for me.
I'm setting the bar. This is your first
Yeah.
one. Cool. I'm pretty psyched about that. So, I mean, you're from SoCal, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I know we discussed this on the last show. What are some of, like, your favorite hangover foods?
Anything greasy.
Anything greasy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I like a good grilled cheese
Mm-hmm.
with some French fries or onion rings.
Yum.
Maybe
Yum.
a little ranch dressing.
Okay.
Throw some tomato in the grilled cheese.
And that's it, huh?
That'll do it.
Well, here's what we got. We kind of have a grilled cheese, but we have a nice piece of, chicken cutlet in there as well. So that combo together.
Perfect.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to be asking for the next time I need a hangover meal.
All right, well, we'll have to make some extra so you can take some home with you. All right, so we're almost done with that. One other piece, guys. As you can see, just real quick, like, you just want to, roll it around in the egg just so it's coated. And then just let the excess come. I have problems with that word, excess. It's not in my vocabulary to be excessive. Yeah, right, just ask my friends. All right, so here we go. All set there. Our oil is nice and hot, I'm sure. So let's start putting these in, and let's hear the sizzle. Okay. Lacking a little sizzle, but that's all right. They're cooking. I'm just going to let the oil kind of run over that. And we have room for all 5 of these pieces. So I've got that on high. My hands are a little messy. I don't know if you can see that. It's a little clumpy, a little messy over there. So I'm just going to go over to the sink and wash this off.
Matt, do you wash your hands after every time you handle the chicken?
Yes, you really should. No joke, because obviously, raw chicken has, what is it, salmonella?
Yeah.
Or something that's not so good for you. So yeah, you want to wash, and also you want to make sure that you wash your cutting board and your utensils. Anything that touches the chicken, you basically want to wash. I'm going to let that cook for a minute, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer that over here where I have a little bit of a hotter stove to work with. So I'm just going to give that a minute to warm up, and then we're going to transfer that over there. So let's get rid of this stuff here. Just put this back here. And with our clean cutting board, we're just going to cut some bread. And the idea is with this, it's like I said, it's real basic. We have our chicken, we got our bread, I've got some sauce, and I got some cheese. And that's pretty much it. You can make it a little more complicated if you want, but I don't choose not to do that. So I'm just going to cut our bread, slice it up. This is some nice fresh baguette rolls here. And I'm just going to pop that open. Pop another one over here. You can hear the crispiness in that. This is very fresh. So we're just going to open those up. And I'm going to transfer that chicken over to a hotter stove, guys, because this one's not all that hot. These hot plate here. But before I do that, I'm just going to sprinkle a little garlic powder on there. Garlic powder, used generously. You don't want to use it too much, too little, but it just gives it, a little extra flavor. And that's about it. So, let's see. We got a hot plate over here. Let's transfer this. And in about a minute, that is going to be sizzling. So, Lily, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
We talked about this before, but now I asked you last time, have you gone to a guy's, maybe you started dating, he's cooked some food for you?
Yeah.
What about in the reverse? as a single lady or a dating lady, have you cooked for a guy before?
On a handful of occasions,
Yeah.
sure.
Right on, right on. What are some of the things that you've cooked?
Nothing too special.
No?
No. What have I cooked?
I don't even put you on the spot.
Yeah, please.
Do you enjoy cooking?
I do. I love cooking. I'd like to learn to cook more.
Okay.
I love making Italian dishes, though.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what are some of your favorite dishes?
Like
Italian?
pasta.
Some pasta?
Yeah. Some pasta with some veggies, some sausage,
Okay.
some tomato sauce,
Well,
some spices.
we're also going to be doing that in one of our later shows here today. We're actually going to be doing an Italian dish, another Italian dish that has pasta and chicken. But for now, we're just doing our chicken parm here. And while our chicken is cooking, as you can hear now and probably see on camera, we're starting to get a nice sizzle in there. We're going to let that cook there for a few minutes. I have the oven below there. It's on about 375 degrees. And you want to preheat that oven, when you're starting to cook it, or maybe a few minutes before, to get it nice and hot. Because what we're going to do after we're all ready to, prepared with our sauce and our cheeses, we're going to throw it in there just for a couple of minutes. And we're just going to finish it off in the oven. So in the meantime, let me just get some paper plates out here so we can begin our process. There we go. So I just learned to cook this a couple years ago, and again, it's very simple to do. It's not really complicated, and it takes some experimentation. But I find that it's very satisfying, especially if maybe you've had a few drinks the night before and you like a nice cheesy, crunchy meal. This always hits the spot, and it also doesn't go wrong with the ladies too, from what I hear. Okay, so let's check. I think we're ready to actually flip our chicken. So I'm just gonna grab a spatula and flip it. As you can see, we have a nice little coating there on that one side. That oil's really sizzling now, and that's really what you want, guys. You want your oil to be really hot for the chicken. Like I said, for speed, but also it's the best way to cook a breaded piece of chicken. You don't really want it on a low flame. You want that baby to sizzle. So we're just gonna flip that over, and you can see we got a nice little brown coating on some of those pieces there. And that's what you're looking for. You don't want to overcook it. You don't want it black, but you want it, you want a nice coat on there. And as a result of slicing the chicken nice and thin, again, we're cutting into our cooking time. So we're not, having to stand there and watch a pot of water boil. This is really quick. I'm just going to let that cook for another minute on its side, and then I'm going to start preparing, our Parmesan. Basically, Parmesan is, I have a jar of pasta sauce here. And I've got my cheese. We're going to put a nice hunk of cheese on there. And like I said, we're just going to let it bake in the oven for a minute, and then we're going to be good to go.
Matt, I have a question.
Yes.
So you're choosing to use mozzarella cheese. Do you always use mozzarella cheese?
Actually, not always, depending on what I have in the fridge or just what my tastes are. Sometimes I'll use Munster cheese.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever had Munster cheese. Munster cheese melts really, really nicely. Yeah. Sometimes I'll use Monterey Jack cheese. Classic Italian calls for mozzarella, but I don't necessarily go by whatever's classic. I just kind of go with what I'm feeling.
Cool.
So sometimes whatever I have in the fridge. I just happen to do a little shopping, so I got the mozzarella.
Nice.
So we're going to do it classic style today. So, I'm from New York. And in New York, those of you from the East Coast, we know, there's a lot of Italian pizza places, a lot of Italian joints, especially in New York City. They're all over the place, so it's really easy to find a good chicken parm in New York. I'm not as familiar with the LA Italian scene, so are there a good amount of restaurants out here where you can get yourself a good chicken parm?
I believe so, considering I don't usually order that.
Right.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you where to go to get a really good one.
When's the last time you had
Probably
Italian
your
food?
kitchen.
Probably my kitchen?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good answer. I love that answer, and it's true. In my kitchen, my modest little kitchen at home, you would get a good a chicken parm. And that's what we're going to try to do for you right now. Let's check on our chicken, guys. That is sizzling up very nicely. That's what I like to hear and see. Also, you can see how there's sort of like a froth. The oil's come to a froth there. That means your oil is really nice and hot, and the chicken is definitely cooking. Oh, yeah, nice. There we go. And I can start to smell that wafting in the air. It smells really good. All right, so let me take it off the flame here, take it off the heat. And I'm going to bring this back over here so you guys can see. And just so you get a good look, that's nice and brown. That's what we're looking for, guys. A nice crispy chicken. Now, I'm just going to take my jar of sauce, and I'm going to coat the chicken with the sauce. I'm not going to overdo it, but I'm also not going to underdo it. Again, I cook to feeling, so that feels pretty good to me right there. So let's do that. Oh, a little laughter from my friends over here. Never hurts. Never hurts. Hey, did you hear the one about... No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we got that going over there. That looks pretty good. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to drop a little more sauce, just so the bottom also gets some sauce in there, too. Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to roll that around. I'm going to open my cheese. Apparently, this is adult proof. All right, I got it. Okay, so now we're just going to hunk. I like to hunk the cheese on.
Hunk the cheese.
Yeah, we're going to hunk the cheese on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know just what you mean.
Don't get sassy with me. We're going to put a lot of cheese on there, because the cheesier the better. It's starting to resemble something of a chicken parm, right there, guys? Okay. So that's it, guys. Real simple. Is there anything you know what? There's something missing. I'm gonna use our hot sauce. I'm gonna throw a little bit of hot sauce, just sprinkle it on there. This is not like habanero. This is just basically cayenne pepper sauce. So that's just gonna give it a little bit of a bite, a little bit of a kick. And now let's put that in the oven. And we're gonna let that cook for a couple minutes, guys. And so now we need some filler time. So Lily.
Yes, Matt.
Tell me, have you recently done any traveling?
As a matter of fact, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us where you went.
I mean, recently, like within the last year.
That's recently to me.
Okay.
Where have you gone?
Took a little road trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, was it a cross-country road trip?
To Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you take, like, driving across from, I mean, that's not, what is it, like a good 15-hour, 20-hour drive?
Yeah, you can do it in 2 days, but I did it in 3 days. Stopped in Sedona.
Sedona's very nice.
Grand Canyon for a couple days.
Right on.
Yeah.
And now along the way, were there any memorable eating experiences that you had?
As a matter of fact, there were. A
Yeah?
few. Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
We got some time.
All right. Oh, and on the way back, I was in Vegas.
Ah.
Very memorable eating experiences there.
You ain't kidding. I mean,
I mean,
Vegas
those
is...
buffets.
Oh, right?
Yeah.
What is it, $8 all you can eat? I never understood how they could afford to feed people like lobster and steak for $8.
Yeah.
But somehow they pull it off.
I mean, I usually stay away from the lobster at the $8 buffets, but...
See, that's probably why I got sick in Vegas. Guys, stay away from the lobster in Vegas. All right, so, but you know, I mean, I've driven across country too, and you know, if you take your time, there's so many great little spots like New Mexico for example. I mean, talk about authentic Mexican food.
Yeah.
Out of control. I mean, Texas barbecue. I mean, you name it. So cool. That's always a memorable thing to do a little cross country. Let's check on our chicken, guys, because this is certainly not going to take that long. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put it on the broiler. And I'm going to let that thing broil for a minute. And I'm just going to raise the temperature so that thing goes a little higher. And soon we will have... Now, what you can do, if you don't have the freshest bread in the world, you can put your bread in the oven just for the last minute to kind of give it a little crispiness. This is pretty fresh bread, so I don't really need to do that. Also, you could also take, in fact, I'm going to do that, guys, because we have the time. I'm just going to take a little bit of butter, and I'm just going to butter that, and I'm going to put it in the oven just for a minute. And that's just going to give it an extra little something special. And again, this is going to be the last minute here just to finish it off before our chicken's ready, which it'll be ready in a minute. So, I'm just going to cut some butter, and we'll just dice that up real easily. And again, I like to improv in the kitchen, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm improvising, but this is actually a good improv because that's just going to melt nicely and just give it a little extra crunch and flavor. So we're just going to put a couple cubes of thing on there of butter, and we're going to throw that in to finish it off with the chicken. And I can see that chicken is just about ready, guys. So we're in for a treat here. I hope you brought your hunger, because I'm certainly starving and ready to go.
I brought mine.
Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Let me put this butter away. Okay, so, you know, I like to do a little cleaning and prepping while I'm cooking, so I'm just going to take this stuff and put it aside. And I'm going to give that another 20 seconds, and then we are going to eat that. So, any good movies?
Any
lately?
good movie.
Any good movies, guys? Hey, you see that Avatar? All right, you know what? I'm going to take the chicken out, and I'm going to let that rest just for a minute. Now, for time's sake, I would let that cheese melt just another minute, but that's okay. We're going to get the gist of that, just the way it is. We're going to take our bread out. Ooh. And we're going to plate these suckers. You ready to eat?
I was so ready to
Come on
eat.
over.
Okay.
Join me. That butter didn't really melt, so I'm taking it off. Like I said, guys, this is a live program, right? So we, you know, just roll with the punches. All right, so we got our
Nice
bread.
and cheesy.
Yeah, and the bread is now, it's got a little warmth to it, so this is very hot. Be careful.
Okay.
Let's put this over here. And we're going to take that chicken.
Nice.
Guys, 22-minute chicken parm. You can't go wrong. And we're just going to plate those bad boys.
This impresses me, so.
Yeah, I'm a little impressed with myself. Not to toot my own horn, guys, but my goal here is to show you how to make something that tastes really good and also, you know, really quickly. So this is how we roll. We're going to throw a little extra sauce on there. It's going to be really hot, so you might need to blow on that just a minute to cool it down so you don't burn your mouth. But boom, we got 2 chicken parm heroes.
All
We'll
right.
just cut that. All right. Lily, are you ready to get a little dirty, a little messy?
Yeah.
All right,
I like
really
it.
hot,
I
so
wanna,
be careful.
Can I move this?
Yeah. Let's move that puppy out of here.
I don't want to burn
And let's dig in, guys. And Lily's going to give us her honest feedback here.
Wait, this looks really hot, though.
Yeah, it is
I'm gonna
pretty
have to
hot.
wait a second.
You have to blow on that. Yum, yum. Like? I gotta say, it came out pretty decent.
Yeah,
Came out
that's
pretty
pretty
good.
damn good.
Well, there you have it, guys. Lily's our resident taste tester. Really appreciate you being here, trying
Thanks.
this stuff out.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely,
Thanks
anytime.
for making me my first chicken parm.
Yeah, I'm proud to have done it. And that's it, guys, for today. We'll see you next time on Single Chef. Thanks for hanging with me.